let's review our 2 and 3D shapes. First, we'll look at our 2D shapes, or we've also called those our plane shapes. One of the ways that we describe our 2D shapes is by the number of sides. And our side is going to be the flat pieces that make up that shape. And when we identify those, I like to have the kids just put a tick mark in them to help make sure that they have counted them all and that they are recognizing them all. So you can see we can put a tick mark in all of our sides. Our angle then is where two sides meet, and we usually circle those. So we could go through and circle where all of these angles meet, or where the two sides meet, creating this angle. So our first one is our circle. When we look at our circle and want to describe our circle, it is round and it has no flat sides. So we would say it actually has 0 sides, and then because it has 0 sides, it cannot have an angle where those sides meet, so then it would have 0 angles. My next one would be my triangle, and here we can identify that it has 3 sides, and then it would have 3 angles. Now, one of the other things that we've talked about is that triangles can look different. So while this is more of a traditional triangle, it could look like this, it could have looked like this, could look like this, well, minus this piece. But all of those are 3-sided figures, which make it a triangle. We're going to skip our 4-sided shapes for now and move on to our pentagon. Our pentagon is our 5-sided shape. So it has 5 sides, and then it has 5 angles. And again, we talked about this could look different. It could look like this, and there again would have 5 sides and 5 angles. Or any other shape that you could come up with that would have 5 sides, 5 angles. Our hexagon is going to have 6 sides and 6 angles. And again, could come up with anything that would look like it has 6 sides and 6 angles. So it could have, let's see, so it could look like that, could look like that, or anything else. As long as it has 6 sides and 6 angles, it would qualify as a hexagon. Then we're going to move into a category of 2D shapes that we call quadrilaterals. And we have talked about that quad means 4, and so these are any of my 4-sided shapes, but we can get more particular with them and specific with their names. So our first one is our trapezoid, and it's, like I said, it's a quadrilateral, so it has 4 sides, which means it also has 4 angles because our sides and angles go hand in hand. I like to remind the kids that the trapezoid, to me, kind of reminds me of a triangle that just lost its top. Maybe it didn't fit through the door and we just cut the top off. The next one is a parallelogram. And again, it's a quadrilateral, so it has 4 sides and 4 angles. This one, and we briefly talked about this, they don't have to necessarily know and be able to tell me, oh, well, it's a parallelogram because it has 2 sets of parallel lines. But we did talk about, just so that the kids understood what parallel meant, we did talk about that a parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel lines, and what parallel means is that I could stretch them on forever and they would not touch. So there's one set of parallel lines, and here's another set of parallel lines, and we refer to it kind of like how our walls and our floors, if we stretch them out, they're not going to touch. Then we talk about our rectangle, and it's a quadrilateral as well, so it's got 4 sides And for angles. Our rectangle, it's got 4 sides. 2 of them are going to be the same length, and the other 2 will be the same length. And we kind of talked about 90-degree angles, or that the angles, if we put this little L in them, it would make a square. And then we get into our square. And our square, one of the key words here is that it has 4 equal sides. And then it's got the 4 angles. Here, one of the other things that we talked about was that a square could technically be a rectangle. If I didn't know for a fact that this side was equal to this side, which was equal to this side and equal to this side, my best guess then would be that it would be a rectangle. Looks like a square, but it could be a little off. But because the rectangle does not have all sides equal, it can never be a square. But because the square has, at least this side is going to be the same as this one, and this one's going to be the same as this one, it could be a rectangle. So again, those are my quadrilaterals: trapezoid, parallelogram, square, rectangle. Right, then we move into our 3D, or what we have called our solid shapes. To describe our solid shapes, we're going to identify them by their face, which is the smooth surface of the 3D shape. So when we look here, that would be a smooth surface. And you could see here would be another face, another one, another face back here, and then the top would be a face. So if I was to open up that cube, it would be made up of 6 squares, making the faces. We've also talked about that our faces are 2D shapes that we can identify. Our edge then is going to be where 2 faces meet. And when I go to identify the edges, I like to try and highlight them. That helps the kids some, so we can identify where they are meeting. So you can see where the cube meets, where those edges are, kind of where the pyramid edges are, but anywhere where those 2 faces are meeting. And we talked about how, like, if I roll my pencil across the desk, it will roll off the edge, because that edge is where the top face of the desk is meeting the side face, and it's no longer holding the pencil. And then we get into our vertex, or if it's talking about more than one, it'll be called vertices. The kids have struggled some with that plural form, but it's where 3 or more edges meet. So you can see here, I'm going to use this one right here. I like to put a dot where they are meeting. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3 edges coming to meet. So if we put our dots where vertices are, or our vertex is, it helps them to be able to count how many there are. So going through and identifying these shapes, the sphere is round. So it's going to have 0 faces. Because it does not have a face, it will not have an edge. So it has 0 edges. Sorry, I messed that up. Talking and writing is hard, apparently. All right, 0 faces, 0 edges, and then because it has 0 edges, it's going to have 0 vertexes, or vertices. My cone, it will have 1 face. It's got that 1 flat face there. Because it only has 1 face, it cannot have an edge, so it has 0 edges. And then while this looks like a vertex, that's actually what we will call an apex. So it's got an apex or a point. But it would have 0 vertices. My cylinder has a face up here and a face down there, making it have 2 faces. Now, one thing the kids and I talked about is, yes, this has 2 faces, but this face is up here and this face is down here. Do they meet? No. So it's still going to have 0 edges, which means it has 0 vertices. Our pyramid, it's going to have a square base and then triangular sides. So if we count the front and the back, there's 2. Each side is 3, 4, and the bottom makes 5 faces. If we count our edges, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 edges. And then if I go to count my vertices, I've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices where the edges are meeting. My rectangular prism, it again is going to have a top and a bottom and a top face, a front and a back, so we're at 4, and then a side and side, so we're at 6 faces. When we go to count our edges, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 edges. And then for my vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. All right, our cube's going to actually be the exact same. We've got a bottom and a top face, 2 side faces, and a front and a back. So we're at 6 faces. It's going to have 12 edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 8 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. All right, I hope this has helped you to be able to help your child identify how many faces, edges, vertices are 3D shapes, what our 3D shapes are, how many sides and angles our 2D shapes are, what those 2D shapes are. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.